Welcome to Anthony Masserino Stadium here on the campus of Vernon Township High School as Muggs Media presents the High School Girls Lacrosse Game of the Week. First game of the 2018 season for the girls as the host Vernon Vikings, who come in with a record 1-0. They knocked off Delaware Valley under their veteran coach, Steve Carlson, host the Jefferson Falcons. This is their first game of the season. They're led by their first-year head coach, former Rutgers star and professional lacrosse player Kim Kolodny, as they come in playing their first game of the season. Thanks for joining us, everyone. I'm Dan Cleary, and we want to thank the following sponsors for getting the games of the week on the air. Orthopedic Institute, New Jersey, with offices throughout Northwest New Jersey. Watch for their Live Well tips on the sports beat. Tim's Auto and Truck Repair, Loomis Avenue in Sussex. Watch Tim's Auto tips on the games of the week. Newton Medical Center, part of the Atlantic Health System, serving the community, atlantichealth.org. Sussex County Community College. Start here, go anywhere, go to sussex.edu. Friendlies of Route 206 in Hampton, Route 23 in Wantage. Great food, great for the family, great ice cream. It's Friendlies of Route 206 Hampton, Route 23 in Wantage. Home Furniture Warehouse, located on 75 Mill Street. Go see our friend Jesse Rowe. Terrific selection of great furniture, Home Furniture Warehouse. Tony's Pizza and Pasta Restaurant, Route 94 in Hardison. Open 7 days a week. They deliver delicious homemade meals, hot and cold subs, and great pizza. It's Tony's Pizza and Pasta, Route 94 Hardison. Give them a call, 973-209-7775. Garden of Life Yoga Massage Center, located in the Boulder Hills Mall, right off Route 23 in Wantage, celebrating 14 years. And we want to thank them for being sponsors here on the Game of the Week. Well, this is the first game in the division for both of these teams. They compete in the Colonial North Division of the North Jersey Interscholastic Girls Lacrosse League. And as crazy as it sounds, these two teams are the favorites to win this division possibly, and the division title could be decided today. And that was the case last year when Vernon, on a kind of similar day, a raw, kind of windy, cold day, with a little bit of rain, pulled out a 10-9 win in overtime after trailing most of the game. They got a big goal from Erin Keneally to win it. And also in that game, Allie Dombrowski had a big game, as did Brielle Allinger, Brianna White, and Olivia Balcado. But this Vernon team, as they have their starters go through the gauntlet there, is primed to do very well in this division. Also in the HWS, Coach Steve Carlson has to replace about 85% of his scoring with the graduation of Mackenzie Alter, who's playing at Kane, Bree White, Balcado, and Keneally. But he's got some talented kids back that will lead the way in the win over Delaware Valley. Katie Smoldone had 5 goals, and Brielle Allinger had 4. So we'll look to them to lead the way, and they'll have some young kids, but some veterans back, even though they're younger underclassmen like Maddie DeVries and Haley DeBonta. We'll give you the starting lineups for the Vikings. A check that we'll give you the starting lineup for Jefferson after we talked a little bit about the Vikings. We'll talk about Jefferson. Their starting lineup, as we said, haven't played a game this year. Number 2, Natalie Castillo. Number 3, Jenna Johnson. Number 4, Amy Sheff. Number 6, Samantha Shore. Number 7, Carrie Wolf. Number 9, Felicia Gall. Number 10, Taylor Young. Number 11, Lilia Franco. Number 14, Kayla Sparks. Number 15, Christina Torciello. And in goal is number 19, Lexi Caggiano. And number 20, Danae Banfatti. So that's the Jefferson lineup as we take a look as they get their sticks checked. They lost a lot of kids to graduation from last year. Megan Smith and Julia Grilka and Emily Kretschmeyer combined for well over 100 goals. Victoria Piatrowitz, their outstanding goalie, opted not to play. So Coach Kolodny has a lot of knowledge and was a terrific player and still is a terrific player. And she'll bring that knowledge to the Falcons. They'll be young and rebuilding. So we'll see how they react against a Vernon team that already has a game under their belt. When we come back, folks, we'll have the opening draw on the Vernon starting lineup right after this here on MuggsMedia.com.
Commitment to student success is what sets Sussex County Community College apart. Turn your passion into a career and learn from professors who are in the field and rich with experience. Imagine an education with endless possibilities and a campus full of life. Choose a degree or certificate that speaks to your inner self but doesn't have a lasting impact on your finances. Visit our open house on October 14th so that you can get started on a great education. Sussex County Community College. Start here, go anywhere.
This Game of the Week is being brought to you by Friendly's Restaurant in Newton and Sussex. Locally owned and operated, come to Friendly's for great service, food, and make sure to leave room for dessert. Friendly's, Route 206 in Newton and Route 23 in Sussex.
beginners to come to Garden of Life because we don't want anyone to be afraid, and we take, in our fundamental classes, we break down the poses to the basics. We move very slowly, and we create a practice that's good for all bodies. There's this misconception that you have to be supple and limber and strong. No, you just have to have a really positive attitude, because there are yoga poses for everybody. There's yoga for healing. We also do therapeutic massages and yoga privates. So for those that are really needing to break down the poses, we do privates, very simple. We have fundamental classes where we just take each pose step by step by step. So everybody gets into the practice at their own level safely, with a big smile on their face when they leave here.
Tony's Pizza and Pasta in Hardiston, a family-owned and operated business. Stop in for a slice or a full meal. Catering is available and delivery is always free. Tony's Pizza and Pasta, Hardiston Mercantile Mall, Route 94 in Hardiston.
Whether it's being an active person in your everyday life, playing sports, or being fit at the gym, we all get our fair shares of aches and pains. And oftentimes our body's able to heal them on its own, which is great, and that's exactly what we want to have happen. But sometimes your body needs a little bit of help, and that's what we're here to offer. Regenerative medicine is tapping into your body's ability to heal on its own. It's really taken off, I think, in the last 5 to 10 years or so, when it became a lot more affordable to the general public. Professional athletes, Olympic athletes have been having access to things like PRP or platelet-rich plasma therapy, stem cell therapies, and viscosupplementation for a long time now. But it used to be cost prohibitive to offer to the average Joe, the average person walking into our office, and I'm really excited to finally be able to bring some of these things that used to be accessible only to, the millionaires and billionaires of the world to everyday people like you and me. When there's an injury in the body, what happens is there's an immune response that signals healing. And areas that have a great blood supply, like the skin, bleed immediately after there's an injury, like a cut. With that bleeding, platelets, which are in your bloodstream, come and adhere to that site, and those platelets signal other healing cells, white blood cells and so forth, to come to that area, signal stem cells that are circulating in your bloodstream to then come to that area, deposit there, and become new skin cells. When we get a fracture and we immobilize it, that bone regrows, and it regrows stronger. Regenerative medicine is really telling your body or stimulating your body to pay attention to an area to heal it better, because it knows how. It just needs a little help. The nice thing about some of these treatments is they're not surgical. They have a quicker recovery. They can be done right in the office, and you see results pretty soon after treatment. And the goal is really just to get people back to running, to being active, to getting through their workday without noticing knee pain or shoulder pain or elbow pain that might be getting in the way of things. There's 3 things that I can offer patients, and they're applicable to the knee and shoulder, particularly for tendinitis. So there's viscosupplementation, there's platelet-rich plasma therapy, also called PRP therapy, and there's 10X procedure that I do, which is a percutaneous tenotomy. And all 3 of these approaches highlight your body's ability to heal. For example, patellar tendonitis of the knee. So it's also called jumper's knee, and it's a cause of knee pain right in the front of the knee. You notice pain with walking, running, stair climbing, all around the kneecap sometimes. And what can happen is there can be microscopic injury from repetitive overuse of this patellar tendon, and over time those small injuries wear away at the tendon and cause some scar tissue to develop. That scar tissue then causes pain. Now, each one of those injuries, because it's so small, wasn't big enough to cause bleeding and produce a healing response. What happens is you end up getting the scar tissue and inadequate healing. But what we can do with the 10X procedure, for example, or percutaneous tenotomy, is go into that tendon with an instrument the size of a needle and remove the scar tissue in a minimally invasive way. Removing that scar tissue is kind of like peeling off a scab. It creates a little bit of bleeding, and that bleeding is exactly what we're looking for to help the tendon heal. So we remove that scar tissue, create some bleeding, and allow the body to pay attention to that area to specifically heal the area that's injured. And I do all of these procedures with ultrasound guidance so that I'm targeting only the area that needs to be targeted and leaving all the healthy tissue intact and unaffected. Platelet-rich plasma therapy is another option that's a possibility, and this is done right in the office. So this is PRP therapy. And what it involves is, again, relying on this principle of blood flow improves healing. Your body just needs that blood to help get the healing response going. So what we do is we draw blood from a vein, just like a regular venipuncture if you were giving blood for a blood drive or for a blood test. And we put it into a centrifugation filtration system that spins the blood down, then concentrates those platelets and white blood cells and all the factors that help signal up your body's own healing response. We concentrate those factors and inject them with ultrasound guidance right into the area of pathology, which in the case of patellar tendonitis or a patellar tendon tear, or for example, a tennis elbow, common extensor tendon tear, we can actually see the tear on ultrasound and guide the needle, a very small needle, right into that area of injury and inject this platelet-rich plasma, which is then a signal for your body to come in there and build new tendon, which is exactly what's needed to help your body heal. And the neat thing about this is there's no hardware. You're healing essentially naturally, and it's a nice alternative to cortisone injection or other kind of medicines to subdue the body's response. It's actually taking advantage of your body's own capacity to heal. The third option is viscosupplementation, and viscosupplementation is injecting hyaluronic acid, which is a natural substance that's found in all of our knees. If I were to take a look at the knee of a healthy 10-year-old child and drain the fluid in it, I would find natural human hyaluronic acid. And now we found a way to synthetically make hyaluronic acid, which can be injected into a knee to help lubricate the knee joint, promote a more healthy, natural, youthful environment in the knee joint, and reduce pain due to wear and tear injuries to the knee. So these viscosupplementation injections are a nice maintenance therapy for osteoarthritis of the knee. They're designed to help lubricate the knee joint, help rejuvenate some of the cells that are in the joint, and reduce pain and improve function. These injections are usually covered by most insurance companies and can be offered twice a year as a maintenance therapy. When used alongside physical therapy and a good home exercise program.
I was diagnosed with tennis elbow. Dr. Shamim told me about regenerative medicine and how this procedure would help fix my elbow. We went into the operating room. She told me exactly what she was doing. It took about 20 minutes. There's no stitches with the procedure. It's just a little butterfly. I was in a sling, and for a couple weeks afterwards, the sling really was if I was going out that other people knew not to bump into me. It wasn't necessarily that I had to have a sling. But I unwrapped it 2 days later. I was able to shower. I started moving it. There honestly was no pain after the procedure. I feel great. I feel like I never had the pain before.
Sports is everything to me. Like my main goal is to go to the NFL. Of course, it's a big dream. It's a big goal. I played defensive end and offensive tackle. I got to the Orthopedic Institute of New Jersey, And Dr. Falco, after he had worked on me and checked me out, he told me that it could require like surgery, but instead of the surgery, he offered a PRP shot, which led me to Dr. Shameen. Before like the PRP shot, and going through practice and going through the motions, I thought a lot about like my knee and how it hold up. If I make the wrong turn, make the wrong move, or tackle the wrong way of some sort, it's always in the back of my mind. It's always there. It's always bothered me. Like, after the shot, I felt fantastic. Like when you're in that game moment, I don't, think about my knee whatsoever. I don't think about cutting the wrong way. I don't think about tackling the wrong way. I don't think about the knee at all. I kind of just think about, hitting the quarterback or hitting the running back. You just come off the line, you hit the guy in front of you, you get off and you hit the quarterback for a nice sack. It's something setting you back and something hovering over your shoulder, really, really sets you back because you're questioning yourself constantly on how you want to perform and how hard you want to play. And it's very difficult, to overcome something like that. And the way the PRP shot really, helped me, overcome those fears, as you can say, and completely changed my football experience since I don't have to worry about my injury anymore.
When you start to develop an ache or pain, it's your body telling you something. It's really important to listen to that signal. And it's reasonable to give it a week or two or taking some over-the-counter analgesics. But if it hasn't gotten better in a couple of weeks, it's time to take it to a specialist. It's time to have someone take a look and see what's wrong and find out what you can do to help yourself heal and get to the bottom of what's going on faster rather than letting the process get worse. At the Orthopedic Institute of New Jersey, our job is to give you back your quality of life. I'm happy to help my patients get back to their sports and to their quality of life as quickly as possible.
And welcome back to Anthony Masserino Stadium here in Vernon Township as Muggs Media presents the high school girls lacrosse game of the week. Colonial North battle between Vernon and Jefferson. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Cleary. As promised before the break, we have the Vernon starting lineups. For the Vikings, number 6, Kathleen Smoldono had the 5 goals the other day. Number 7, Tara Kipla. Number 14, Maddie DeVries. Number 19, Kira Doyle. Number 21, Melissa Garcia. Number 23, Brielle Ellinger. Number 29, Caitlin Kowalski. Number 30, Ali Dombrowski. Number 31, Haley DeBonta. Number 43, Bridget Frazier. Number 45, Brianna Garcia, who just did a beautiful job singing the national anthem. And in goal, veteran Emily Rhodes, who got most of the time in the goal last year, though she split some time. But Coach Carlson pleased to have her back. So as we said, this Vernon team lost a lot of its scoring, but they have a lot of middies back and defenders. They have their goalkeeper back. And with that 10-4 win over Delaware Valley, that was a good start for the season, only allowing 4 goals, getting double digits. And they're hoping to do the same today against a very young but talented and well-coached Jefferson team. So we'll head out for the opening draw. Taking it for Jefferson will be Danae Benthady, who had a tremendous field hockey season. And Haley DeBonta is going to take it for Vernon. Coach Carlson was not really happy with the way draws went yesterday in the win over Delaware Valley. They were losing the battle at one point 10-2, but was still able to pull out the 6-goal victory over the Terriers from Milford, Pennsylvania. So we're about ready to get underway. 25-minute halves in girls lacrosse. First 23 minutes, running time, stops on goals. And then the last 2 minutes, play stops and everything. So we're about ready to get underway here at Vernon High School. And we'll see who will get that first possession. And it will be the Falcons, but immediately the ball pops out of the stick of Lily Franco after the violation. So out of the free position, the Falcons will start. And they'll work it up, trying to work it in the middle of the field, looking for Kira Sparks. Ball loose. Ground ball. And that's going to be scooped up by the Vikings. I think that was Kira Doyle scooping that up. Jefferson gets it back. And we'll have a whistle. And it will be on Jefferson, so Vernon will come out of the free position. They'll look to clear it out. So Vernon on its first possession thus far. They'll bring it up the near sideline. Kaylin Kowalski carrying it up. And the Vikings will go to work. Vikings still on the possession. Send it back. The Vikings will go through their settled attack, looking for the cutters. Open shot and a save. And a nicely done there by Lexi Caggiano. With a whistle. And Vernon will come out of the free position. Brielle Eilinger will take this for the Vikings. She dumps it back behind the net. And Vernon will go to work again. Coach Carlson wants smart possessions. He doesn't want any wasted shots. And again, when you lose all that offense, Mackenzie Alter and Brianna White, Erin Keneally, and Olivia Balcado was terrific on draws. Vernon's going to have to start to gel as an offensive unit. And like we said, good start, double-digit goals yesterday against Del Val. Eilinger dumps it off. Bringing it around. Good defense thus far by Jefferson. Jefferson first time on the field was yesterday, and now they go out and have to play a game with huge league implications. So we'll see how the Falcons react to this. But a nice possession here by Vernon. Patiently waiting to find the cutter or get that open lane. And we'll have a whistle. And this will be Katie Smaldone out of the free position. Chance for her. See if she tacks the net or dumps it off to the wings. She's got Eilinger to her right. So out of the free position, it's Katie Smaldone. She winds up. She shoots another save. Nicely done again by Caggiano. We'll stay here with the Vikings. Eilinger waits. Swings it over. Back to Eilinger. Maddie DeVries puts on the brakes, but sends it back out. Nothing there. Smart lacrosse. Again, Smaldone, nothing there. Good D by the Falcons. Carrie Wolf and Kylie Fasano back there doing a nice job. Vikings still have it. Right on the doorstep. Shot goes wide. And again, Caggiano got a piece of that at DeVries shot. And they'll get it back to the goalie. So Jefferson doing a nice job defensively. The goalie Caggiano and the field defenders. As Vernon had a nice long possession, but they'll get it back to Falcons. They'll look to push. Well, they'll go right to the middle of the field. And the Vikings will get rid of it. I believe that was Kaylin Kowalski. That was Kowalski. And the Vikings will go to work. Shot goes wide. As we have 19:40 and running to go here in the first half. No score. The Muggs Media Girls Lacrosse Game of the Week. And it will be Vernon possession. Vikings patiently working it out. Switch fields. This is Devonta. Makes the dodge, dumps it off. Back to the middle. Shot and a goal. Vernon gets on the scoreboard. And that's Haley Devonta with the goal. So Vernon will take the 1-0 lead at the 18:59 mark. A good possession by the Vikings, as they will take the 1-0 lead over the Falcons. We'll head back for the draw. It'll be Devonta taking the draw, as she'll square off with Danae Benfatti. Coach Steve Carlson directing traffic. Can't believe it's his 10th season since taking over the program. Sherry Quinn did a great job. Steve was his assistant, her assistant. And in 10 years, he's won a couple of division titles, including last year winning the Colonial North. And he had that great team in 2011, which won the HWS tournament. Off the draw, who's going to get to the ground ball? It will be Christina Torciella. She tries to dump it in the middle. Vernon's defense is there again. Whistle, we're going to go the other way. So that Vernon defense definitely has some experience back there with Kowalski and as well as Devonta and Doyle, Kira Doyle as well. On the run. Dumps it off to Eilinger. Out comes the keeper. The ball's loose and we'll have a whistle. See what the call is here. Officials stopping the clock here. We'll see what the call is here. And the officials will talk it over. I don't know what the issue is. It might be the one official might have gotten hurt, limping a little bit. That could be the case. So we're going to step aside. We'll see what happens here as the trainers will come out to treat the official. We'll be right back.
Commitment to student success is what sets Sussex County Community College apart. Turn your passion into a career and learn from professors who are in the field and rich with experience. Imagine an education with endless possibilities and a campus full of life. Choose a degree or certificate that speaks to your inner self but doesn't have a lasting impact on your finances. Visit our open house on October 14th so that you can get started on a great education. Sussex County Community College. Start here, go anywhere.
Here at Tim's Auto, we're able to offer truck service on diesel trucks up to 5500 series. Give us a call, 973-875-6181. Thank you.
And welcome back to Vernon Township High School, Muggs Media Girls Lacrosse Game of the Week. We just had about an hour delay. Unfortunately, one of the officials that started this game, Beth Farrier, hurt her knee, and she had to be taken away to be treated. So they waited, and in town, Sherry Shortway, who's an outstanding official and does a lot of youth lacrosse and field hockey in town. Well, she's available. She got here, and we're ready to get going here with 18:07 to go in the first half. 1-0 Vernon lead. The goal by Haley Devonta at the 18:59 mark. And we're underway, so we're going to finish up this game after an hour delay. Hopefully everyone's all well stretched out. The teams were running and jogging and warming up, and great job by Athletic Director Bill Foley to get someone to get here so this game didn't have to be rescheduled. So, and the other beauty of this, having this great facility, it's got lights, so the JVs will be able to get to play as well because they can turn on the lights. So Vernon on the possession. Sent through, kept by the Vikings. Vernon being very patient is what Coach Steve Carlson wanted. Vernon still waiting. Here's an opportunity. Good defense by the Falcons. We'll slow that down. Spin move. Nothing doing there. Vernon will get it to Maddie DeVries. She comes around. She's picked up defensively. So good work by that defense back there. Natalie Castillo and Carrie Wolf, as well as Danae Benfatti back there, doing a good job. But Vernon also being very patient in their set. There's Brielle Eilinger. Swings it back. Vernon has control possession of this entire game, although they've only played about 9 minutes. Jefferson does not have a shot on goal as of yet as Vernon's controlled the game. Working her way in, shot goes wide. We'll stay here with the Vikings. Haley DeBonta dumps it in. Again, good crease defense there. I believe that was Castillo, number 2, playing terrific down low. Shot, opportunity, and a goal for the Vikings. And that was Katie Smoldone with the goal. So Vernon will go up 2-0. With 15:42 to go. Smoldone coming off the 5-goal game the other day. She now has 6 on the season. Good job by her. So we'll come back for the draw. It will be Benfatti for Jefferson, which is in the visiting blue. And I believe that, again, that's Haley DeBonta. We'll check on that number. So Vernon with the 2-0 lead with 15:42 to go here in the Muggs Media Girls Lacrosse Game of the Week. And the draw is won by the Falcons. That's Dana Miller bringing it up for Jefferson. Again, they haven't had a shot on goal yet. They're going to try to get an opportunity here, but well, that will roll out. Nope. Still battle and ground ball won by the Vikings. Good job. And goalie Emily Rose will swing it over to Kira Doyle. She'll pick it up. Doyle being pressured by Kira Sparks. She'll bring it up. Vernon to look at clear it out. Doyle puts on the brakes. Still has it. Dumps it off to Brianna Garcia. Ball pops out. Garcia recovers, and Vernon will go back to work with 14:45 to go. We'll have a whistle. And Vernon will come out of the free position. Vikings will go to work again. Lexi Caggiano's done a very nice job for Jefferson in the goal. First-year varsity keeper, as we said, replacing Victoria Pietrowicz. And Vernon being very patient here. They'll work it around to Eilinger. Good patience being shown here by the Vikings. And now making the move, a little bit of a clear out. Draw the defense, they'll get it to Maddie DeVries. She draws the double, dumps it off smartly in the middle, pops out. We'll have a whistle on the Falcons. So the Vikings will come out of the free position, and Garcia will swing it over. Again, Jefferson doing a nice job defensively Dana Miller there making sure they're picking up the cutters. We'll have another whistle, and Vernon should be coming out of the free position again. So an opportunity here for the Vikings to add to that lead with 12:35 to go here in the first half. Shot goes high. We'll stay here with the Vikings. Matty DeVries was there on the backup, so Vernon will have the ball. Again, unofficially, I don't have Jefferson registering a shot on goal. It's been all Vernon possession thus far. This is DeVries. Waiting for the cutter to come through. Patience. Swing it over to the side. Allie Dombrowski with the ball. She'll give it up to Eilinger. Dombrowski had that big goal last year when Vernon came back from a deficit to beat Jefferson on opening day. 10-9. Erin Keneally had the game-winning goal for the Vikings in overtime. Working their way in, and we'll have a whistle. That will be on the Vikings. So it should be possession for Jefferson, and they'll come out of the free position, and it'll be the goalie. Caggiano will get rid of it. Will it stay in? Good hustle and a good ground ball win right there by Carrie Wolf. The Falcons trail 2-0, though Vernon's dominated the time of possession. They're only down 2. Getting rid of it there is Sparks. And we'll get it back to Sparks from Taylor Young. These two teams have a good tradition, a good rivalry going on. Last year, Vernon won. They didn't play the 2 years prior because Jefferson had won this division and was bumped up. But prior to that, they had knocked off Vernon 3 straight years. Here's an opportunity for the Falcons. We got a shot, and it goes wide, so our first shot for Jefferson, Dana Miller, but we'll stay here with the Falcons. Falcons trying to get on the scoreboard. Good double by the Vikings, pressuring the ball, pushing out the player. Good catch by Miller. She's picked up immediately by Dombrowski. And that'll be an unforced error there, so Vernon will get the ball back. As we're under 10 minutes ago here in the first half, Vernon with the 2-0 lead. Actually, excuse me, my bad, folks. Jefferson with the ball. And broken up by the Vikings defense. And we'll stay here. Vernon will come out of the free position. They'll work it back. Send it back to the keeper, Rhodes. Nice play before by Captain Melissa Garcia. Bridget Frazier gets rid of it. Now in the middle of the field, Vikings on the run. Caitlin Kowalski, coming off an outstanding field hockey season, defender for the Vikings, had their best year in a long time for Coach Kieran Colleen. We'll have a whistle. So Smaldone will come out of the free position. She already has a goal today. Takes a shot, goes off the pipe. Rebound comes back out. And Maddie DeVries collects it. DeVries swings it over to Brielle Eilinger. Ball pops out. We have a whistle. So Vernon will come out of the free position. This would be Brielle Eilinger. Still has it. Dumps it off, looking to feed the crease. Vernon will still get it. It's a good job by Tara Capillo before. Stay here. Again, Vernon dominating the time of possession, probably 90% or maybe 95% to 5. Shot came through. We have a whistle. Excuse me, and the Vikings will come out of the free position again. Again, it will be Katie Smoldone. Hard shot, shot a goal. So Smoldone picks up her second goal of the game. And Vernon tacks on to its lead as they go up 3-0 with 7:20 to go here in the first half. So Smoldone with 2 goals, 7 on the year. As we'll head back for the draw. Jefferson's won a couple of draws, unable to put anything together, so we'll see what happens here. Haley DeMonta for Vernon and Danae Benfatti for Jefferson go at it again. Battle for the ground ball. Allie Dombrowski for Vernon, good hustle by her. She'll turn around, she'll draw the double on the sideline, see if she can get rid of it. We'll have a whistle before that. And the Vikings will work it into the middle of the field, showing some good speed the Vikings have today. Good thought there, looking for DeVries. Smoldone just a little wide with the pass. She had carried it up. And Jefferson goalkeeper Lexi Caggiano will get it. She'll swing it on over to Lily Franco. We have another whistle. And that will be on the Falcons, so Vernon will come out of the free position. Right on the doorstep, shot just goes wide. Good ground ball scooped up by Lily Franco. Good pressure being put on by the Vikings. Work it back to the keeper. Pressure on the keeper. Keeper goes down. We'll have a whistle. That was on Capilla Vernon. Could be dangerous here if Vernon can get to the ground ball. They do. Off the turnover, Islander gets it inside. And the ball pops out again. That Jefferson defense coming up with a big stop. And a good carry here by Benfatti. She made the initial terrific defensive play. She brings it in, shoots, and she scores. Great job by Danae Benfatti. All by herself, she took that. And Jefferson on the scoreboard as they trail 3-1 with 4:53 to go here in the first half. So Danae Benfatti made the original good defensive play, and then she took off, kept it in her stick the whole way, scores the goal, and gives Jefferson their first goal of the game, and she'll head back to take the draw against Haley DeMonta. So a big momentum shift here for the Falcons after warding off a couple of Vernon attempts. Vernon had a couple opportunities at the free position, couldn't cash in. They broke up on the Falcons, and then Danae Benfatti did the rest. And Benfatti's going to scoop up the draw, and we'll have a whistle, so That's one way you get back in ball games, folks. Win that draw. Keep the possession. You get more opportunities to score. Easier said than done sometimes, but Jefferson can get this to a one-goal game with 4:30 to go. Here come the Falcons. Sparks. And we'll have another whistle. And it will be against the Vikings, so an opportunity here out of the free position. Kira Sparks. She's going to get a false start, so Vernon will get that back, I believe. Yep, she took off before the whistle, false start. So Vernon will get in there. We'll look to quickly clear it out with 3:56 to go. A little bit too strong on the clear. Will it stay in? Battle on the far sideline. We'll have a whistle. Taylor Young came up with that ground ball. And Young will bring it up for the Falcons. Battle for the ground ball. Whistle. And Steve Carlson, Vernon's coach, doesn't like what he sees. He's going to call his first time out of half. We're going to step aside, folks. We'll be right back.
Commitment to student success is what sets Sussex County Community College apart. Turn your passion into a career and learn from professors who are in the field and rich with experience. Imagine an education with endless possibilities and a campus full of life. Choose a degree or certificate that speaks to your inner self but doesn't have a lasting impact on your finances. Visit our open house on October 14th so that you can get started on a great education. Sussex County Community College. Start here, go anywhere.
Here at Tim's Auto, we're able to offer truck service on diesel trucks up to 5500 series. Give us a call, 973-875-6181. Thank you.
And we're back here at Vernon High School. There's a good look at the Vernon huddle. Coach Steve Carlson called a timeout. Jefferson had started to control some play and has cut this to a 3-1 game. And had a couple opportunities, so Coach Carlson called the timeout. His excellent assistant, Elise Shep, has been with the program for a long time. So he called the timeout. Let's see what he comes up with. As Vernon holding a 3-1 lead with 3:10 to go here in the first half. And we'll have a whistle. Stay here with the Vikings. Vikings will bring it in, and looks like they'll get into their settled attack. Let's see. And they will. The Vikings taking their time, 2:24 to go here in the first half. They've had several long possessions in this first half. They've been very patient. Also part of that, some very good defense from the Falcons. And we'll have a push on the Falcons, so the Vikings will come out of the free position. Smoldone will come out. She has 2 goals already today, looking for number 3, and she gets it. So Katie Smoldone with the hat trick here in the first half. So Vernon will go up 4-1 with 1:43 to go, as Smoldone now has the 3 goals and gives her 8 goals on the season after scoring 5 yesterday. So after the timeout, Vernon cashes in and gets a goal. We'll head back for the draw. Maybe Benfatti for Jefferson and DeBonta for the Vikings. Ground ball. Who's going to get to it? And the Vikings will scoop it up. And we'll see if they hold for possibly one shot with 1:35 to go. They've been very patient in their attack. Obviously, if they get a chance out of the free position, they'll attack. This is Small Doan. She'll swing it back. Garcia has it. She'll swing it over. Vikings keep the possession. 1:18 to go. Obviously, if you're Jefferson, 4-1 at the half is much better than 5-1, so they want to get a stop here. They'll swing it back. Vernon will go back to work again. They'll spread it out. And over the years, Steve Carlson's always found great scorers. You go back to the dynamic three of Mills, Warner, and Ast, and then also Demi Matthews was a scorer. Sam Fernat, Daniel Ward. There's always one that Steve Carlson finds someone that can put the ball in the back of the net. Mackenzie Alter last year. And we'll see who fills that role this year. Thus far, it looks like it's Katie Smoldone. 30 seconds to go. DeVries has it. Maddie DeVries with Wolf on her. So obviously, unless something wide open happens or it's out of the free position, Vernon's going to hold for the final shot. They swing it around. Good defense again by the Falcons. Looking to feed the crease. The ball comes through. Jefferson will get to it with 8 seconds to go. So good job by the Falcons. Lily Franco with it. Dana Miller. And the first half's going to come to an end. So after 25 minutes of play here at Vernon High School, it's the Vernon Vikings 4, the Jefferson Falcons 1. We'll have second half of the Muggs Media Girls Lacrosse Game of the Week right after these messages here on MuggsMedia.com.
Commitment to student success is what sets Sussex County Community College apart. Turn your passion into a career and learn from professors who are in the field and rich with experience. Imagine an education with endless possibilities and a campus full of life. Choose a degree or certificate that speaks to your inner self but doesn't have a lasting impact on your finances. Visit our open house on October 14th so that you can get started on a great education. Sussex County Community College. Start here, go anywhere.
Here at Tim's Auto, we're able to offer truck service on diesel trucks up to 5500 series. Give us a call, 973-875-6181. Thank you.
A lot has changed in orthopedics over the years. Right now, the big thing is regenerative medicine, looking at cartilage restoration and taking somebody who's got an injury or a joint that's starting to go and rejuvenate that joint, allow them to continue being active much later in life without having to do joint replacements. That being said, joint replacements has also gone significant. They are lasting a lot longer. We see that, average knee replacements last in 20, 25 years, which is a lot longer than it was even 15 years ago. So patients were able to stay active. We're able to take younger people who we would have said, hey, look, you got to wait to get your joint replacement. We can do it now. We can keep you moving, keep you healthy, and I think that's the way to go. So the biggest thing I've seen change in orthopedics, really so much as in orthopedics, is people. People are being active a lot longer into their 70s and 80s. I've got patients in their 70s who run marathons. And so our job is to keep these people going, keep them moving. Two things happen. One, our tendons, our joints degenerate. Our tendons soften, they weaken. We're much likely to tear something, much likely to injure something. The other thing that happens is we get tight. Our tendons, our hamstrings, our quad tendons all get tight. We lose muscle mass, we get weaker, and all that increases the injury rate. So the key is helping people, one, stay flexible, two, stay strong. The injuries that we see in people in their 40s is different than the injuries we see people in their 70s. As we get older, we're much more likely to get injured. We talk about, in terms of less is more to some extent, but keep people moving. The more we move, the better. The difference between things that we see between athletes and the non-athletes, that line's actually getting a lot blurred over the years. We see athletes, especially in kids, they're becoming much more aggressive in terms of how they're training. They're training harder, they're getting stronger, they're faster. And then as we get into our 30s and 40s, a lot of the same injuries we'll see somebody on the weekend warrior is also the same injury as the guy who's doing construction. Same muscle groups, same type of activities. Our job is to keep these people moving, to get them healthy again and get them back either to work or back out in the playing field. In the knees, typically what we'll see is meniscal tears. They're very, very common. As we get older, that meniscus tissue weakens and it's much easier to tear it. We see that, in people in their 50s, skiing is a big one. Somebody will fall, have a twist, tear their meniscus. Another one is anterior cruciate ligament tears. That's very, very common. We see that in a lot of soccer players. Skiers. We're doing more and more reconstructive surgery on people, and much later in life, people that we would have never reconstructed 20 years ago are saying, hey, look, I'm active, I want to stay active, and we're fixing them, doing their surgery, and they're doing great. Shoulder, a lot of things that we see is rotator cuff injuries, from tendonitis to partial tears to full tears. The rotator cuff is basically what keeps your shoulder moving. And so again, we're working on these folks. A lot of it's not surgery, a lot of it's rehab, sometimes injections. And the folks that need surgery, we're able to repair these folks a lot less invasive and get them back to playing tennis, back working. Folks are doing well. It really helps with people and their quality of life. It's a matter of twofold. One, a lot of folks are weekend athletes. They work really hard during the week, and then they get out and they play really hard during the weekend, sometimes too hard. And our job is to get them back safely, doing what they love to do. Same thing with folks who get injured at work. They come in, they need to go back to work. We get them healthy, and we get them back working. A lot of folks will let things go. They get an injury or something gets sore, it'll go away. They'll wait. 6, 8 months go by and they finally come in to see us. And a lot of times it would have been much easier to have taken care of that problem earlier. That being said, it's pretty common. Folks will come in and we can treat them. We always say it's a good idea to come in, and if it's nothing too bad, great. We can kind of fix whatever the ailment is before it gets worse. So we always recommend folks, not putting stuff off. I have a 16-year-old female rugby player, tore her ACL. She basically came in, we evaluated her, MRI scan, diagnosed her tear. She had reconstructive surgery. She's currently, healing and rehab. We expect to be able to get her back on the rugby field within 3 or 4 months. 40-year-old gentleman, construction worker, tears his rotator cuff, comes in, workman's comp injury. I can't work, I can't lift, it's killing me. We'll go ahead and diagnose it, MRI scan, and reconstruct his rotator cuff, and within 3 months, he's back working. Rotator cuff tears are interesting. The rotator cuff is what controls the shoulder. The rotator cuff attaches to the bone, and many times it tears off the bone. As a result, the mechanics of the shoulder get altered, and patients come in. Typically, they have pain and weakness. Diagnosis is typically done by MRI scan. Surgery is done arthroscopically, meaning it's all done inside the shoulder, and what we do is repair that tendon back down into the bone. Takes a little while to heal. There's a biology that has to occur. They're typically immobilized for about a month after the surgery, and then a rehab program starts, and that usually goes on for a couple of months. About 85-90% of people with rotator cuff tears do very well. Typical knee injuries that we'll see, one is meniscal tear. In an adult, typically the tear, what'll happen is the meniscus will tear. It creates a flap of tissue that rubs inside the knee. It causes irritation, sometimes even mechanical symptoms such as locking and giving way. We'll go in arthroscopically in an adult and we'll trim out the torn piece. Sometimes we'll repair it, sew it back together again, get that meniscus to heal so this tissue doesn't rub. Anterior cruciate ligament injury is very common. We see it a lot in young athletes. The ACL is a stabilizing ligament in the knee. That'll get torn. If left untreated, the knee is unstable, so we will go ahead and reconstruct it. We'll go ahead and recreate a new ligament for them. It does really well. 90% of folks do great. They heal well. We rehab them, get them back on the playing field. One of the nice things about the Orthopedic Institute of New Jersey is we have specialists that takes care of every body part. As a shoulder and knee reconstructive surgeon, folks will come see me as a specialist in the shoulder and knee. But interestingly enough, somebody may come in with shoulder pain, but it's really their cervical spine that's causing their problem, not their shoulder. We'll go ahead and see them, diagnose it, and say, hey, look, we're going to have you go see my partner who's a spine specialist, and he's going to take excellent care of you. So we can really take care of the body soup to nuts, head to toe. We not only do reconstructive surgery, but regenerative medicine and non-operative treatment. A lot of folks don't need surgery. They can come in, we can diagnose, sometimes injections, medication, therapy, and we can get them back to doing what they want to do. Interestingly enough, looking at the different injuries that men and women can have, women have a tendency to have more knee problems. Specifically, women are much more higher risk at tearing their anterior cruciate ligament than men are. Statistically speaking, if we have a group of female athletes, group of male athletes, more of those female athletes will tear their anterior cruciate ligament. There's been a lot of work done on preemptive rehab for these folks to teach them how to perform on the on the court, on the field, to prevent these injuries. And that is changing in terms of the number of these injuries that we see. We get tight as we get older. Our ligaments, our tendons all tighten up. And stretching is a huge preventative medicine type thing. Folks don't stretch. Even weekend warriors will go out and just, all right, let me go play basketball, and they'll just hop out of their car and go start playing. There's no warm up, there's no stretch. And that's really important. Loosen the muscles up, get them warmed up, get them working at peak capacity before you start doing something. And the other is strength. We all lose strength as we get older. Our muscle mass decreases and our muscles are just less resilient. And so, in terms of working out, we like to say, you should be doing 3 days a week of aerobic type exercise and 2 days a week of strength training. On a personal note, I tore my meniscus several years ago skiing. Caught a tip, wiped out, kind of got up and said, my knee kind of feels funny. As with most people, I continued to ski that day. That night, my knee just swelled up, and I went, oh, that's not so good. MRI scan, had a tear in the meniscus. Tried rehabbing a little bit, started really getting mechanical symptoms in the knee, mechanical locking, and subsequently had arthroscopic surgery. Post-surgery, I went back to work 3 or 4 days later, started riding my bike 3 weeks later, started running about 2 months later, and knock on wood, I'm doing great. I'm a big exercise fanatic. I think it's important. So my poor wife, I drag out. We go bike riding, walking. Both my kids, I have 2 boys, 24 and 20, and they're very active. They play soccer, tennis, both work out, pretty much daily. Unfortunately, they're both now much faster and stronger than I am. So, but yeah, it's part of my life, and I try to impart that on my patients also. I think one of the big things with orthopedics is going to be cartilage restoration in terms of being able to take a patient who's got an injury to their knee or shoulder where they've got cartilage damage and being able to restore that cartilage. Right now, that's a huge topic, tons of research going on in there. And I think we're going to be able to take an individual who has an injury and be able to salvage their knee or shoulder without subsequently having to do joint replacement surgery. And I think that's really where the big kick's going to go.
Welcome back to Anthony Masserino Stadium here at the campus of Vernon Township High School as Muggs Media presents the High School Girls Lacrosse Game of the Week. Colonial North battle. Vernon with a 4-1 lead at the half. Thanks for joining us. Dan Cleary getting 3 goals from Katie Smaldone and a goal from Haley DeBonta. Jefferson getting their goal from Danae Ben-Faddy. Want to thank all of our sponsors, the Orthopedic Institute in New Jersey, Tim's Auto and Truck Repair, Loomis Avenue in Sussex, Newton Medical Center, part of the Atlantic Health System serving the community. Sussex County Community College. Start here, go anywhere, go to sussex.edu. Friendlies of Route 206 in Hampton and Route 23 in Wantage. Great food, great ice cream, great for the family. It's Friendlies. Go see our friend Jesse Rowe at the Home Furniture Warehouse, 75 Mill Street in Newton. Always have great sales. Jesse has great quality furniture. Please go see him. Tony's Pizza and Pasta Restaurant, Route 94 in Hardiston. Baking fresh meals for perfection, hot and cold subs, and, of course, delicious pizza. They deliver 7 days a week. Tony's Pizza and Pasta, Route 94 in Hardiston as Vernon wins the draw to start this second half, and they'll go to work offensively. And the number for Tony's is 973-209-7775. And the Garden of Life Yoga and Massage Center, Garden of Life Massage and Yoga Center, celebrating 14 years, located in the Boulder Hills Mall, right off Route 23 in Wantage. We want to thank everyone for getting these games of the week on the air. Please patronize all the sponsors you see here on Muggs Media. So Vernon with the 3-goal lead. As we start the second half, they will come out of the free position, which has been very good for the Vikings thus far, and ends another goal for Katie Smaldone. So Smaldone will start the second half the way she ended the first with another goal. 5-1 Vernon with 23:57 to go. 4 goals on the game and 9 on the season for the junior, who had a huge goal against Kittatinny last year when they went over to Kittatinny. Kittatinny played one of its best games of the year with Callan Smith, their top scorer, bringing Vernon right to the edge, but the Vikings won the game and were able to win the division after knocking off Kittatinny, and Smaldone had a huge goal in that game. So we'll head back for the draw, and it's going to be scooped up by the Vikings, so good job by Vernon. They score a goal, and they pick up the ground ball. And that's Haley DeBonta, who has one of the goals today. As we mentioned in Vernon broadcast, her dad Rick, the terrific football coach and boys lacrosse coach at Montville. He's here today, probably going to have a late practice. We have a whistle. And more than a whistle, I believe that's going to be a card. And indeed, it will be a card on the Falcons. Dana Miller will head off. So Vernon will have an opportunity here out of the free position. As we get everyone squared away here, the official comes back. It'll be Smaldone again. Looking for goal number 5, match what she did yesterday against Delaware Valley. Shot and a save by Caggiano. Stay here with the Vikings, though. Waiting for the cutters to come through. And there'll be a whistle on Jefferson as DeVries went down. And Maddie DeVries will come out of the free position, sporting those golden boots. DeVries, a 3-year member of the varsity. Comes in, she takes the shot, and she scores. Maddie DeVries with the goal, her first of the season. So it'll push Vernon's lead to 6-1. Maddie's dad was a lacrosse player at Kane. Played basketball there as well. So lacrosse running in the DeVries family. And Maddie DeVries with the goal for the Vikings to push their lead to 6-1 with 22:43 to go. At the end of that first half, Coach Steve Carlson called a timeout. Vernon came out and scored. Smoldone scored to make it 4-1 at the half. And since that timeout, Vernon has really controlled play. Big ground ball. Who's going to get to it? It will be the Falcons. That's Amy Sheff. Falcons will go back to work. Try to cut into that 5-goal deficit as we approach 22 minutes left here in the second half. Ball pops loose, and Kira Doyle has it. And it'll be a whistle on Kira Sparks, but good job by the veteran back there, Kira Doyle. And the Vikings will look to clear it out. Doubled up. Doyle still has it. Gets it into the middle of the field to Caitlin Kowalski. And the Vikings will go to work down the far wing. I believe that's Allie Dombrowski. She puts on the brakes. Ball pops loose, and now even strength as Miller comes on the field after serving her yellow card. I believe this is Jenna Johnson will be coming out of the free position for the Falcons. Indeed it is. She sends it up. It's going to be a race to the ball. Who's going to get there? Garcia giving chase for the Vikings. Scooped up by Miller. Miller makes a spin move and a whistle. And it's a charge. So that will be on the Falcons. Good defense there by the Vikings. So drawing the charge was Garcia, the senior captain. And the Vikings will come out of the free position. So good job by Vernon. It was a possible opportunity there for the Falcons, but Melissa Garcia does the job on D. Smoldone. Shot save. Ball loose. And Vernon will settle down with the 5-goal lead as we are 5 minutes into this second half. Thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Cleary. Impressed with this Jefferson defense today. They've been on their heels most of it and only allowing the 6 goals thus far. Lexi Caggiano doing a nice job in the cage for the Falcons. Good work here. Shot, save, and whistle before that, so it wouldn't have counted either way. So Haley DeBonta, who scored Vernon's first goal, she'll have an opportunity here out of the free position. The sophomore. She lines it up. And she smartly pulls it back. There was nothing there. There's a shot and a goal for the Vikings. That's Smaldone again. And a timeout going to be called on the field. We're going to step aside as well, folks. We'll be right back.
Commitment to student success is what sets Sussex County Community College apart. Turn your passion into a career and learn from professors who are in the field and rich with experience. Imagine an education with endless possibilities and a campus full of life. Choose a degree or certificate that speaks to your inner self but doesn't have a lasting impact on your finances. Visit our open house on October 14th so that you can get started on a great education. Sussex County Community College. Start here, go anywhere.
Here at Tim's Auto, we're able to offer truck service on diesel trucks up to 5500 series. Give us a call, 973-875-6181. Thank you.
And we're back here at Vernon Township High School. There's a look at the Vernon huddle. Jefferson called a timeout. Vernon with a 7-1 lead with 19:03 to go here in the second half. Katie Smaldone having a big game, her 5th goal, 10th of the season. So she started the season very well for the Vikings, as Vernon has the 6-goal advantage. And I know it's still only March, but this is a big division game in that Colonial North, which houses Vernon, Hackettstown, Jefferson, Lenape Valley, North Warren, High Point, Kittatinny, and Moores Hills. So, big game, even though it's late March and first league game of the year, just like last year. And I would imagine if Vernon's able to win today and run the table and win the conference again, the division, they will probably be bumped up. Like Pope John after winning the division in Mount Olive, they moved up to the Freedom North. And Vernon could be heading that way if they have another good year. So we'll head back for the draw. It's DeBonta for the Vikings, who on that last goal that Smaldone scored was all about Haley DeBonta coming out of the free position, seeing nothing there, getting the ball to Smaldone, and she scored. So that was a smart play by Haley DeBonta before. So the whistle is on the Vikings, so Jefferson will come out of the free position. This is Sparks. Ball pops out, whistle. Amanda Henderson, number 27, is checked in for the Vikings. And Jefferson will go to work. They'll get it over to Dana Miller. Miller waiting. Jefferson wants to get a good possession here and get a good shot. They don't want to rush it or force it. Still plenty of time if they do well taking the draws, as they're down 7-1. But you can peck away at any sort of deficit if you score and win those draws. This has been Fatty. She has the goal today, was in transition. She starts to make her move, doubled up. Good job by the Vernon D. Patience being shown by the Falcons. Good defense there, forcing the turnover. That's Doyle. Good job by the senior, Kira Doyle. Veteran on this team, forcing the turnover for the Vikings. And she'll come out of the free position. So Jefferson had an opportunity, but Doyle had other ideas for the Vikings as they will look to push it on out. Ball loose. Who's going to get to it? Jefferson's there first. We'll have a whistle. That was Carrie Wolf with the good hustle. Ball pops loose. Whistle on the Falcons, so Vernon will come out of the free position. Vikings work their way up. Vikings still have it, and now they'll settle down. With the 6-goal lead, Vernon will run some clock with 15:50 to go. Alyssa Argon-Dizio will check in for Jefferson, number 16. Off camera, substitution. And Vernon just being patient, forcing Jefferson to come out then to play some defense. And Vernon will run some clock. If Jefferson's not going to come out and force play, they'll just throw it around the Jefferson defense. 5 minutes ago, they've taken already over a minute off this possession. So Vernon running clock right here. Being patient and disciplined. And Jefferson coach Kim Kolodny calling out for pressures. He wants her defenders to come out. Force Vernon to attack. Smaldone will give it up. And Vernon just happy to run some time here with that 6-goal lead. The other team can't score if they don't have the ball. That's what Vernon's doing right now, game of possession. Nothing doing, Vernon will hold on to it. It's a very nice job of Vernon holding on and not having any unforced errors, bad passes thus far. As it's now down to 13 and a half minutes. They've taken close to 2 minutes off the clock just in this possession. And if Jefferson comes out and forces the issue, then Vernon will attack. They'll send the cutters through, but right now they're spreading the field. This is Henderson. And Vernon just content to run clock here. Jefferson really not trying to do anything to force the issue as we're down to 12:50 left. Now here's a move being made and putting on the brakes. Nothing there. And we'll have a whistle now out of the free position. Vikings can attack the goal. But great patience being shown. And Katie Smaldone has been deadly out of the free position today. And she has an opportunity for another goal. She's looking for goal number 6. And she's going to put on the brakes and reset the attack. So right now, possession more important to the Vikings. Henderson. And the Vikes just content to working the ball around. Smart lacrosse, folks. Shorten the game. You got the lead. There's going to be times when they play teams like Mount Olive on Saturday. If you have a lead against the Marauders with kids like Olivia Timmermans and Gina Verone, you want to keep the ball out of their hands. This is a good job by the Vikings and Coach Steve Carlson to work it around. Some of the people watching might be bored by it and say, why are they attacking? But you want to keep working unless something's wide open, or you can come out of the free position here. Tara Capilla will come out of the free position for the Vikings as we approach 11 minutes to go. So Vernon had this with close to 16 minutes to go. This same possession, excuse me. Now we'll have another whistle. So Vernon will come out of the free position. It'll be Smaldone again. Let's see if she attacks or dumps it off to run some more clock on this possession. She's going to take the rocket and score. So Smaldone having a great day. She picks up goal number 6, number 11 on the season. And Vernon will push his lead to 8-1 with 10:49 to go after a possession that took about 5 minutes off the clock. So a good, smart possession by the Vikings. You take all that time off and you want to be rewarded with a goal. That's exactly what happened. With 10:49, a lot of time. Jefferson just needs to win or draw and get some quality shots. They've been unable to do that today besides the Benfatti goal. So we'll go back for the draw. Tabanta for Vernon. And for Jefferson, that was Sparks. And Jefferson gets a much-needed win on the draw. They look to push it up. This is Dana Miller. Miller still has it. She'll draw the whistle. So Miller will come out of the free position. Jefferson looking to get back on the scoreboard. Benfatti had their lone goal in the first half. Benfatti swings it over. This is a young Jefferson team. They have a new coach who's going to really do an outstanding job here. Melissa Hall was fantastic before her. Alex Montanez. Both of them were Muggs Media Coaches of the Year. But that was quite a coup for Jefferson to get Kim Kolodny, a former Rutgers star. Grew up and played her lacrosse in Long Island. And I think she's going to do a great job with this program. Here comes Benfatti, shot and a goal. We had a whistle. Let's see if that counts. Flag went up. We'll see if that will not count. So Jefferson will come out of the free position instead. So Benfatti will take this. She puts on the brakes, comes back, draws the double, triple there from the Vikings. We'll have the whistle on Vernon. She'll do it again. Benfatti breaks in, she takes a shot, and she gets that goal. Second of the game for Danae Benfatti. And she'll make it an 8-2 game with her second goal. With 9:04 to go here in the second half. And again, only a 6-goal deficit can be made up fairly quickly in girls lacrosse if you dominate the draw possession. And I like this Jefferson team not giving up. A lot of fight in these Falcons. So draw here. Let's see who gets to it. And the whistle will be on the Falcons, so Vernon will get it. And we'll see if they immediately go into that delay, spread the field. Last time they took almost 5 minutes off the clock. 8:43 to go here in the second half. We'll see if Coach Carlson tells them to spread it out unless the Falcons pressure them. Jefferson, you might want to double the ball here if you have an opportunity, if you want to try to get back in this one. But he will spread it out. This is Henderson. She makes the turn. Nicely done there by Amanda Henderson, the junior. And she'll have the opportunity coming out of the free position. Tries to take the shot, broken up by the Falcons. Ground ball, who will be a whistle, actually. Going to be on the Vikings, so Jefferson will look to get it out. This is Carrie Wolf. She brings it to the near sideline. Good defense there by the Vernon. Falcons will bring it up the far sideline. Work their way in. And they'll put on the brakes at Samantha Shore. As we approach 7 minutes to go here in the second half. Jefferson's next game will be at a conference against Holy Angels. And Vernon will play Mount Olive, a very good team. If Fatty gets rid of it. Vikings playing some good D. They're looking to feed the crease a little bit high. The out of bounds this year at Vernon are the yellow lines. In previous years, it was the red lines. It was Jenna Johnson. Broken up by the Vernon defense. No whistle yet. Battle for that ground ball. And that'll be scooped up by Amy Sheff. Falcons waiting, looking to feed the crease there, right on the doorstep. And Fatty shot save by Rhodes. Rebound doesn't get through. And a roll back to Emily Rhodes. So best save of the day for Vernon. Emily Rhodes really hasn't been tested, but she did a terrific job there keeping the Falcons out of the net with 5:45 and running. Falcons will work it over to the near, Vernon will work it to the near sideline. This is Caitlin Kowalski. One of the captains on this squad. And ball will pop loose. And it will be Vernon ball. Paige Scoville will come out of the free position. She'll swing it over to Henderson. As we said, this time with the 6-goal lead, less than 5 minutes ago, Vernon wants possession, but we'll have a whistle on the Vikings, so Jefferson will get it back. Jefferson will come out with it. Good work here by the Jefferson defense. Paige Cavell doing a nice job there coming back. And Coach Steve Carlson's going to call a timeout with 4:01 to go. As he has the 8-2 lead, we'll be back with that final 4 minutes right after this.
Commitment to student success is what sets Sussex County Community College apart. Turn your passion into a career and learn from professors who are in the field and rich with experience. Imagine an education with endless possibilities and a campus full of life. Choose a degree or certificate that speaks to your inner self but doesn't have a lasting impact on your finances. Visit our open house on October 14th so that you can get started on a great education. Sussex County Community College. Start here, go anywhere.
Here at Tim's Auto, we're able to offer truck service on diesel trucks up to 5500 series. Give us a call, 973-875-6181. Thank you.
Whether it's being an active person in your everyday life, playing sports, or being fit at the gym, we all get our fair shares of aches and pains. And oftentimes our body's able to heal them on its own, which is great, and that's exactly what we want to have happen. But sometimes your body needs a little bit of help, and that's what we're here to offer. Regenerative medicine is tapping into your body's ability to heal on its own. It's really taken off, I think, in the last 5 to 10 years or so, when it became a lot more affordable to the general public. Professional athletes, Olympic athletes have been having access to things like PRP or platelet-rich plasma therapy, stem cell therapies, and viscosupplementation for a long time now. But it used to be cost prohibitive to offer to the average Joe, the average person walking into our office, and I'm really excited to finally be able to bring some of these things that used to be accessible only to, the millionaires and billionaires of the world to everyday people like you and me. When there's an injury in the body, what happens is there's an immune response that signals healing. And areas that have a great blood supply, like the skin, bleed immediately after there's an injury, like a cut. With that bleeding, platelets, which are in your bloodstream, come and adhere to that site. And those platelets signal other healing cells, white blood cells and so forth, to come to that area, signal stem cells that are circulating in your bloodstream to then come to that area, deposit there, and become new skin cells. When we get a fracture and we immobilize it, that bone regrows, and it regrows stronger. Regenerative medicine is really telling your body or stimulating your body to pay attention to an area to heal it better, because it knows how. It just needs a little help. The nice thing about some of these treatments is they're not surgical. They have a quicker recovery. They can be done right in the office, and you see results pretty soon after treatment. And the goal is really just to get people back to running, to being active, to getting through their workday without noticing knee pain or shoulder pain or elbow pain that might be getting in the way of things. There's 3 things that I can offer patients. And they're applicable to the knee and shoulder, particularly for tendinitis. So there's viscosupplementation, there's platelet-rich plasma therapy, also called PRP therapy, and there's a 10X procedure that I do, which is a percutaneous tenotomy. And all 3 of these approaches highlight your body's ability to heal. For example, patellar tendinitis of the knee. So it's also called jumper's knee, and it's a cause of knee pain right in the front of the knee. You notice pain with walking, running, stair climbing, all around the kneecap sometimes. And what can happen is there can be microscopic injury from repetitive overuse of this patellar tendon. And over time, those small injuries wear away at the tendon and cause some scar tissue to develop. That scar tissue then causes pain. Now, each one of those injuries, because it's so small, wasn't big enough to cause bleeding and produce a healing response. What happens is you end up getting the scar tissue and inadequate healing. But what we can do with the 10X procedure, for example, or percutaneous tenotomy, is go into that tendon with an instrument the size of a needle and remove the scar tissue in a minimally invasive way. Removing that scar tissue is kind of like peeling off a scab. It creates a little bit of bleeding, and that bleeding is exactly what we're looking for to help the tendon heal. So we remove that scar tissue, create some bleeding, and allow the body to pay attention to that area to specifically heal the area that's injured. And I do all of these procedures with ultrasound guidance so that I'm targeting only the area that needs to be targeted and leaving all the healthy tissue intact and unaffected. Platelet-rich plasma therapy is another option that's a possibility, and this is done right in the office. So this is PRP therapy. And what it involves is, again, relying on this principle of blood flow improves healing. Your body just needs that blood to help get the healing response going. So what we do is we draw blood from a vein, just like a regular venipuncture if you were giving blood for a blood drive or for a blood test. And we put it into a centrifugation filtration system that spins the blood down, then concentrates those platelets and white blood cells and all the factors that help signal up your body's own healing response. We concentrate those factors and inject them with ultrasound guidance right into the area of pathology, which in the case of patellar tendonitis or a patellar tendon tear, or for example, a tennis elbow, common extensor tendon tear, we can actually see the tear on ultrasound and guide the needle, a very small needle, right into that area of injury and inject this platelet-rich plasma, which is then a signal for your body to come in there and build new tendon, which is exactly what's needed to help your body heal. And the neat thing about this is there's no hardware. You're healing essentially naturally, and it's a nice alternative to cortisone injection or other kind of medicines to subdue the body's response. It's actually taking advantage of your body's own capacity to heal. The third option is viscosupplementation, and viscosupplementation is injecting hyaluronic acid, which is a natural substance that's found in all of our knees. If I were to take a look at the knee of a healthy 10-year-old child and drain the fluid in it, I would find natural human hyaluronic acid. And now we found a way to synthetically make hyaluronic acid, which can be injected into a knee to help lubricate the knee joint, promote a more healthy, natural, youthful environment in the knee joint, and reduce pain due to wear and tear injuries to the knee. So these viscosupplementation injections are a nice maintenance therapy for osteoarthritis of the knee. They're designed to help lubricate the knee joint, help rejuvenate some of the cells that are in the joint, and reduce pain and improve function. These injections are usually covered by most insurance companies and can be offered twice a year as a maintenance therapy. When used alongside physical therapy and a good home exercise program.
I was diagnosed with tennis elbow. Dr. Shamim told me about regenerative medicine and how this procedure would help fix my elbow. We went into the operating room. She told me exactly what she was doing. It took about 20 minutes. There's no stitches with the procedure. It's just a little butterfly. I was in a sling, and for a couple weeks afterwards, the sling really was if I was going out that other people knew not to bump into me. It wasn't necessarily that I had to have a sling. But I unwrapped it 2 days later. I was able to shower. I started moving it. There honestly was no pain after the procedure. I feel great. I feel like I never had the pain before.
Sports is everything to me. Like my main goal is to go to the NFL. Of course, it's a big dream. It's a big goal. I played defensive end and offensive tackle. I got to the Orthopedic Institute of New Jersey, and Dr. Falco, after he had worked on me and checked me out, he told me that it could require surgery, but instead of the surgery, he offered a PRP shot, which led me to Dr. Shameen. Before the PRP shot, and going through practice and going through the motions, I thought a lot about my knee and how it hold up. If I make the wrong turn, make the wrong move, or tackle the wrong way of some sort, it's always in the back of my mind. It's always there. It's always bothered me. After the shot, I felt fantastic. When you're in that game moment, I don't think about my knee whatsoever. I don't think about cutting the wrong way. I don't think about tackling the wrong way. I don't think about the knee at all. I kind of just think about hitting the quarterback or hitting the running back. You just come off the line, you hit the guy in front of you, you get off and you hit the quarterback for a nice sack. It's something setting you back and something hovering over your shoulder, really, really sets you back because you're questioning yourself constantly on how you want to perform and how hard you want to play. And it's very difficult, to overcome something like that. And the way the PRP shot really, helped me, overcome those fears, as you can say, it completely changed my football experience since I don't have to worry about my injury anymore.
When you start to develop an ache or pain, it's your body telling you something. it's really important to listen to that signal. And it's reasonable to give it a week or two or taking some over-the-counter analgesics. But if it hasn't gotten better in a couple of weeks, it's time to take it to a specialist. It's time to have someone take a look and see what's wrong and find out what you can do to help yourself heal and get to the bottom of what's going on faster rather than letting the process get worse. At the Orthopedic Institute of New Jersey, our job is to give you back your quality of life. I'm happy to help my patients get back to their sports and to their quality of life as quickly as possible.
And we're back here at Vernon High School. There's Coach Kim Kalodny talking to the Falcons. They trail 8-2, 4:01 to go. Vernon called the timeout. But this is a young and talented Jefferson team that's going to get better and better every game. As we said, they had a good year last year, but lost a lot to graduation. With Megan Smith and Julia Grilka and Emily Kretschmeyer scoring well over 100 goals. Smith scored 57 of those. So it's going to take a while, but they will bounce back. And as I said, Coach Kalodny was a terrific player in high school in Long Island and a great player at Rutgers. But they trail by 6, 4 minutes to go. So the winner today will have the early upper hand in the Colonial North. I know it's tough to say that at the end of March, but just the way things shake out in the rest of that division, High Point lost a lot to graduation, including Emma Cawley, who was terrific, Michaela McKernan, Alexis Cisco. Lenape Valley lost Danielle Damazzi, arguably their best player. North Warren's going to be better. Coach Brian Gravat's got some good kids coming back. Kittatinny's got Callan Smith and some other young kids in Morris Hills. We'll see how they shake out the Scarlet Knights. So on paper, this is a big win for the Vikings, but they'll have to take it a game at a time. That's old cliche, but it is the truth. So the Vikings holding on to the ball, 3:40 to go. Battle for the ground ball. Who's going to come up with it? Jefferson does. Trying to create an opportunity here. Vernon's defense gets back. Nicely done by the Vikings. We'll have a whistle. So, big story today was Vernon taking advantage of the free position. Katie Smaldone with 6 goals, most of those coming out of the free position. So good job by Vernon taking advantage of that. She now has 11 goals on the year. So also, I know they're kids, but back-to-back games, sometimes it's tough. Vernon played yesterday against Delaware Valley. And then we had the long break when the official unfortunately got hurt. We sent our best out to Beth Farrier. Hopefully she's okay. Rhodes gets rid of it. Vikings work it back. Kowalski gets it to the keeper. Rhodes will look to clear it out. The Vikings will flick it forward. It pops loose. Coach Carlson's not going to like that, losing the possession. Steve was a terrific soccer player here at Vernon High School and swimmer. And he has come back and done a great job with this lacrosse program. He took over the girls soccer program a couple of years ago. A valued asset to Bill Foley in the athletic department here at Vernon High School. So we're under 2 minutes to go, so the clock will stop on every whistle. And Vernon would be just happy to run out this final 1:30 if they have the opportunity. The Vernon textbook delay game, spread the field. Coach Steve Carlson has had the opportunity to get a lot of players in today. See what he has. He still has to figure out some things offensively. Looks like Smaldone would be a reliable scorer, but the Vikings are going to need someone else to step up. And we have 50 seconds to go, so Vernon's going to move to 2-0, 1-0 in the division. Jefferson will fall to 0-1, 0-1 in the division. As we said, Jefferson will play Holy Angels out of Bergen County, and Vernon a very tough game against a good Mount Olive program down there on Saturday. As we said, Gina Verone, Olivia Timmerman's very good program. I got to see them play a couple of games last year, saw them play Morristown in the States. Very well coached. So that'll be a very big test for the Vikings after starting 2-0. I think the Mount Olive game will give them a real idea of where they're at and where they need to improve and where their strengths and weaknesses are. So under 30 seconds to go. And on the doorstep goes wide. So 17 seconds remain. We'll see if Vernon takes one final shot or does run out the clock. It looks like they're just going to run out the clock. 10 seconds to go. So congratulations to Vernon. They're going to pick up their second win of the year and post the 8-2 victory over the Jefferson Falcons. As we say, they move to 2-0, 1-0 in division. Jefferson falls to 0-1 overall and 0-1 in division. That'll wrap it up here from Vernon Township High School. For our cameraman Chuck Mills, I'm Dan Cleary. We'll see you again soon on mugsmedia.com.